It doesn't stop for Chicago tonight, having to face Luis Castillo.
Yeah, Sonny Gray can spin the ball as well as anybody in the big leagues. Tonight, it's a little bit different in terms of what they're going to see out of Luis Castillo. I think it's the best changeup in the game. It's really unlike any other changeup because it has so much horizontal run to it. And part of that is a function of how he releases the baseball. But this is a guy who already this year, his first start, he had 9 punch-outs on changeups, all of them swinging. Watch the catcher set up with the target in the middle of the zone. Why is that? Because his changeup is so good, they just kind of let this changeup do what it wants. So set up middle and let it sink, let it run. I mean, it's just almost an optical illusion for a hitter. It takes a while to get there, but it's mostly the horizontal movement. And he does that because he has such a low release point. Who does that remind you of? This is his idol, by the way, Pedro Martinez. When you throw the ball with that low release angle, you're going to get more of a horizontal break to it than the vertical break, the traditional overhand changeup. So to me, Castillo's got a lot of Pedro in that. Hitters can know it's coming and still can't get on top. Here's the difference here. Castillo's actually a little bit lower. Release point super low, 5.2 feet off the ground. Pedro's about 5.5. But that's how they get that run on the pitch. Castillo last year had a game where he had 11 punch-outs on changeups. That was the most all of last year. Already he's got 9 this year. I got to tell you, one of the most amazing things I ever saw, spring training years back with the Red Sox, Pedro was throwing BP to the Red Sox hitters, working out his changeup. He was telling them he was throwing nothing but changeups. They couldn't hit it. They couldn't get it out of the cage, knowing he was throwing the pitch.
Changeup. Coming. It's coming your way.
That's when you have a good one.
He had a 48% whiff rate last year on changeups, did Castillo. Nasty. You bring up the Red Sox organization, and just like we did with John Heyman earlier, having to say goodbye to a legend in Michael Espy, the Red Sox are doing that as well with John McNamara.
Yeah, John McNamara is a baseball treasure. He's one of these guys. I know people say he didn't win a World Series, but he actually managed more than 2,300 major league games. Yeah. Like Gene Mauch, you've got to be really good to keep chasing that brass ring and keep getting opportunities. I remember some times in spring training later in his career, he was with Cleveland for a while, just sitting on a stool next to him talking baseball. I mean, his baseball knowledge was incredible. The one chance he really had at that ring was Game 6,
yeah,
right? 1986 World Series. It was interesting. We did greatest games here at the network here, and we talked about that with him and Roger Clemens. He said Clemens told him he wanted to come out of the game after 7 innings because of a blister. And Roger disputed that. And John McNamara never wavered from that. He said there was never any question. He said, I will go to war because I have the ammunition that he wanted to come out of the game. Of course, probably the decision to leave Bill Buckner on the field had more about that outcome. But it just goes to show you sometimes baseball happens. You know, he was in the position to get that long-awaited World Series ring. It just didn't happen.
How many games managed again?
2,395. I think he's 9th all-time.
I know.
Games without a World Series championship. Came real close.
People only remember that one first, but you can't forget the rest of McNamara's career. Again, rest in peace.